Welcome to Unplugged. I dedicate this channel to you who are at crossroads in life and want to level up and who need to level up. Level up for yourself, your family, and your loved ones. Despite the current economic crisis, some might feel helpless as to what they can do to secure their financial future. There's no better time than now to take control of your life. I am in the process of educating and helping people unplug from the matrix. It's time to wake up. You have been asleep for far too long. What is the matrix, you ask? The matrix is the system that was built to keep us all under control and managed to create good employees and soldiers. Yes, we have been enslaved all over again. We are in mental slavery. Good law-abiding tax-paying citizens, this is the life of 95% of people worldwide. The wool has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. The employment mythology, the misconceptions about employment. Our circumstances have indoctrinated many of us into believing that employment is normal, but the idea of being employed is actually a rather modern phenomenon far from being historically common. The majority of people in the agrarian age were business owners. The king's fields were cultivated by farmers, but they were not his employees. The king did not give them a salary. In actuality, the farmers paid a tax to the king in exchange for the privilege to use his property. These farmers were actually entrepreneurs, small business owners who made a living. Escape your 9-to-5 and start to live the life you deserve. They were butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers who carried down their profession via the descendants using common last names that have remained with us. Smiths for the blacksmith in the community, baker for proprietors of the bakery, farmers as farming was their family's livelihood. Cooper for an old term for the craft of the barrel maker, and tailor a name that originated from the profession of a tailor. If you didn't know, well, now you know. Not until the Industrial Revolution did a new demand for workers begin to emerge. In reaction, the government gained control of mass education and adopted the Prussian system, which is now the basis for the vast majority of contemporary Western school systems. Have you ever questioned the origins of the 65-year retirement age? Otto von Bismarck was the leader of Prussia. Germany, in 1889. Listening to the fact that the Bismarck scheme began to operate at age 70 rather than 65 doesn't really matter. The government of Bismarck didn't face too much financial pressure when it promised their elderly citizens a guaranteed pension after turning 70, because the average Prussian had a life expectancy of roughly 45 at the time. The federal government might go bankrupt within the next generation as a result of the same pledge, given that so many people today are living well into their 80s and 90s. When you investigate the Prussian education system fundamentals, you'll discover that the objective was to create workers and soldiers who would comply with instructions and follow without questioning them. The Prussian system is used to produce employees in significant proportions. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying that employment is a bad thing. It is extremely limited in making and generating an income. Employment is trading time for money. Employment is trading time for money, and the last time I checked, God gave us all 24 hours in a day, no more or no less, and what we do with the time we are given will determine our outcome. Scholastic education for the first 20 years of your life, and then a salary every month until death, or retirement. And after retirement, how long do you have before you leave this life? This world? Our family? According to the scriptures, 70 and you're gone without a trace. In a person's life, 0 to 20 years, this is where we are the most dependent and easily influenced by our parents, guardians, and the system. We adopt the mindset of those who we are associated with. For example, my dad thought that a good education was the passport out of poverty, and that is what he taught me, and I believed him. However, I was not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and if I were to get out of poverty with a scholastic education, I definitely would remain poor and blame everyone for my problems. And after completing high school, I was employed as a government employee, and my objective was to have a secure paying job with a pension that I most likely will enjoy after retirement once I am still alive, following in the footsteps of my father. Parents and guardians love you, but the sad truth is that they can only teach you what they were taught. It's not their fault, because they were not taught anything different, and that is why we need to break generational curses. We are in 2023, where it takes less than 5 seconds to send and receive messages compared to 100 years ago. We are living in the greatest century of all times, and we need to adapt, we need to learn, we need to understand how this system works, and understand the reason why you are here. Understand how important it is to win in this game of life. We were born winners. From the time you were conceived, you won the battle of your life. That was the very first battle of your life, the race to be here, beating millions of sperms that competed against you to be here but didn't make it because you made it first. You are a winner, you are victorious, congratulations on being here, you made it. Escape from your regular job and start living the life you deserve. Things have changed decisively. Banks are failing, retirement and annuity reserves are dissipating, and occupations are being lost. a huge number of people have seen their savings portfolios fall 30% or more in esteem. The more cash the government prints, the worth of the dollar will drop, since there is nothing that backs the dollar other than the commitment of the government. In 1971, the American economy went off the gold standard. This happened without the approval of Congress. Why is this significant? Because it cleared the way for us to start printing more and more paper money, without it being tied to any actual real value. This shift away from reality paved the way for the greatest period of prosperity ever. Over the following 40 years, the middle class exploded. As the dollar degraded and the on-the-books worth of land and different resources expanded, conventional people became millionaires. Unexpectedly, credit was accessible to anybody whenever and wherever, and credit cards started springing up like mushrooms after spring precipitation. To take care of those charge cards, individuals began to use their homes as ATMs, renegotiating and acquiring, repeating the interaction. We as a whole perceived how real estate came crashing in 2007. Millions lost their positions and their annuities also, and there goes job stability. The quantity of individuals living below the poverty line is rising quickly. The quantity of individuals who are working past the age of 65 is expanding. Try not to be diverted by the headlines. There is in every case some moronic buzz going on that attempts to pull your attention away from the serious business of building your life. It's simply commotion, whether it's terrorism, the downturn in the economy, or the most recent political race cycle outrage. It doesn't have anything to do with what you should do today to build your future. The economy is not the issue is you. Are you angry at the corruption in the corporate world? At the government for not doing enough, or doing too much of the wrong things and not enough of the right things? Are you angry at yourself for not taking control sooner? Life is tough. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Complaining won't secure your financial future, nor blaming the government or the big bankers in the corporate world. If you want a solid future, you need to create it. You can take charge of your future only when you take control of your income sources. You need your own business. When everyone and everything is failing, what is the cost of a little experiment outside of your comfort zone? Most often nothing. Facebook and LinkedIn were launched during the post-2000 dot-com depression. Other recession-born babies include Apple and Disney. KFC and Microsoft are just a few to mention. This is not a coincidence. Whether a year-long sabbatical, a new business idea, re-engineering your life, or dreams you have postponed for someday, there has never been a better time for testing the uncommon. What is the worst that could happen? I encourage you to remember this often neglected question, as you begin to see the infinite possibilities outside of your comfort zone. You were created in the image and likeness of God. You are great, you are powerful, and you are destined for greatness. Don't ever forget that. Stop wasting time. Time gone will never come back. Time is the most expensive commodity that we have. You could either waste time, invest time, or spend time. Decide what you will do with your time. Great fortunes are accumulated by first having an idea that must be created in the mind. Secondly, faith moves mountains. You need to have faith. Thirdly, you will need a plan for the transportation of your idea into physical and financial reality. Fourth, put your plan into action. There's no better time than now. Fifth, consistency and persistence, the willingness to never give up, and hard work always beat talent when talent doesn't work hard. Sixth, prepare the way for success, because once you conceive it in your mind and believe it, by all means you will achieve it. Know what you want and work backward to accomplish it. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? 2028, where do you see yourself? Just imagine that you are exactly where you want to be in 5 years from now. I want you to take note of where your life will be in 2028. Write how much is your annual income, write the house of your dreams, in detail, the vehicle of your dreams, and your perfect spouse. You need to read it every day to yourself and believe that you have it. You need to convince your subconscious mind that you already have it and it will be yours. What is also very important is knowing the reason why you want to accomplish it. Thank you for being here with me, taking time off your busy schedule to be here, and I am here with you. I want you to like and subscribe for the algorithm, and also comment on what topics you want to hear about. Until next time.